The judge says to me, Mr. Oginski, you're beating a dead horse. What does that mean? And do I keep questioning the witness, or do I take the judge's advice and move on? You want to know what this is about? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury trial lawyer practicing law here in the state of New York. So now, during the course of trial, if I catch a witness in a lie, if I catch a witness in a contradiction, do I highlight it to the jury by asking it over and over and over? Mr. Witness, what did you say? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Say that again. Tell me again what you said. And I can repeat it over and over 10 different times. But at some point, the jury's going to get the clear impression he lied. He contradicted himself. And now, if I push it too far, you know what happens? Then I'm beating him over the head with it. Then I'm beating a dead horse. And what's the purpose of that? Many times attorneys don't recognize what happens if they beat a dead horse. If, not literally, but figuratively, if they go ahead and ask the question over and over and over again when they've already extracted the information. You know, there's a strategy that attorneys use once they've obtained a contradiction, once they've shown that a witness has lied. There are really smart attorneys who turn around and just take it and leave it, and then move on to another topic. And why do they do that? They do that because at the time of closing remarks, at the very end of the trial, they will now use that contradiction, that lie, to show to the jury that this witness's testimony is not believable. And now they can make a whole big deal out of it. But to ask the witness 10 different times to repeat the answer, or to show to the jury and highlight it, say, ladies and gentlemen, this guy lied. Let's see how he lied again and again and again and again. The same thing over and over again. That's beating a dead horse. And now if the judge turns around and says, Mr. Oginski, you're beating a dead horse, or something along those lines, I know that I've made my point and it's time to move on. Do I take the judge's advice? Yes. In that instance, I'm going to take the judge's advice, move on to another topic. Because if I don't, what's going to happen? The jury will recognize that I'm playing this up. The judge will recognize that I'm playing this up. And there's only one reason to do that. That's to highlight it. But I don't have to highlight it now. You know why? Because I can do that at the very end of the case during closing remarks. And there's also another drawback to highlighting this over and over again in front of the jury after I've gotten the witness to admit or to show that he lied. He could then change his answer. If on the 5th or 6th time, the witness will finally wake up and realize, oh, I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say something else. And now, what have I done? I've dug a hole even deeper than I wanted to go. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what goes on during the course of a trial when I get a witness to recognize that he's contradicted himself, or to show to the jury that he's lied about something he's testified to. And now I can highlight that at the very end of the case. You know, I recognize you've got questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if you're contemplating bringing a lawsuit for an accident matter or medical malpractice or wrongful death, and you've got legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day, and I'd love to chat with you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.